So the Yankees farm system took a plummet in the rankings recently, but they've never been this deep in a while, and which is a good thing. And again, it sounds like it's without the services of Brian Sabian and Omar Minaya. So they've been drafting better recently. Developing is another story. Drafting well recently, man. Players get hype. Jason Dominguez, Elvis Ferraz, Oswald Ross, Anthony Volpe, Drew Thorpe, and then when they do that, and most of that's justifiable. Some other players fall through the cracks. So I want to talk to this guy today who wasn't on the rankings now, but he's jumped up to 23 now. And this is Ben Rice. Why do I bring him up? Okay, he's their 12th round draft pick out of Dartmouth. Smart kid. He's got a good noggin, right? But he's also a catcher / first baseman. Okay, so he's drawing a lot of similarities to Austin Wells. His bat's getting better. Okay, hits from the lefty side, and he's already been promoted twice this year. He's gone from low A to high A to double A. He's actually replaced Austin Wells in double A Somerset after he was promoted to triple A. Austin Wells. So he's kind of following in an Austin Wells framework or Austin Wells path, what he's going to call it. And he's also a catcher who also profiles as a first baseman. And why is that good? I mean, to me, I think it's good because, long-term baseball scouts and experts are saying that, his bat profiles better long-term as a catcher and not a first baseman. People are saying the opposite about Austin Wells, that his bat profiles better as a first baseman long-term as he is a catcher. This might put the Yankees in a position to have a good first baseman to replace Anthony Rizzo and a long-term catcher too. So again, the Yankees are at a positional player with this advantage here, and again having enough depth. They have a lot of depth, and now they have outfield depth. They have other corner player depth, so corner position depth. And again, he's their number 23 prospect now. Okay, and again promoted from low A to high A to double A this year alone. And he's got 16 home runs this year alone through the system. 12 of them are in double A. So he's hitting 325 too. We rarely do you hear a catcher hitting 325. So we have a catcher who could could be hitting over 300 here as he keeps improving through the system. He seems to get better as he gets promoted. So that's a good thing too. So and the stock, he was originally thought of as an interesting player. He might be a decent guy in the lower parts of the system. He's now gone from that to a player that nobody's really talking about, but is now and should be. So it's one of these players that fans are getting excited about now that they're hearing about him. And again, he's number 23 overall. He wasn't even in their top 30 last year. So who knows? If not, could be vaulting into the top 15, top 12. I mean, we don't know. As long as he keeps progression. But his stock is rising. Okay. And again, he's following a similar path to Austin Wells, just offensively on the flip side. So they're catcher / first baseman. So we could have our future catcher and our future corner infield first baseman here in the system already. And fans could be seeing them in the near future. So that's a good thing too. And again, rather than ponying up, prospects and $80 million for Salvador Perez, Yankees might have their own guy here. And again, he's a step behind Austin Wells, but that's okay. That's okay. And I know we've got Andres Chaparro. We've got other guys that we haven't talked about, but these guys are getting more hype than Andres Chaparro and some of these other prospects. And I know, people weren't thinking about Drew Thorpe, but now he's kind of vaulted past Will Warren and Clayton Beeter in the conversation of who's potentially one of the top Yankee pitching prospects. He's in that conversation now, right? So this is the same type of thing. Where Ben Rice wasn't part of the conversation, now he is. So we have things to be excited about. Obviously, it's been a season where we have enjoyed a lot of good baseball, but we have things to look forward to here in the system. And that's a fantastic thing. And this guy's a gamer, too. He's like an old throwback. He just happens to be making noise in the more modern type game right now, which is a good thing as well. So I'm going to continue to profile him. I'll continue to profile other guys and talk about guys that no one else is talking about. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, please do yourself a favor and do that before you leave. Okay? And if you enjoy the content, hit the thumbs up. Okay? It's not only greatly appreciated, it means the world. We're on the path to 20,000 subscribers. We'd like to get there by the end of the year. We can. And but I also want to make sure you're not missing out on any good and important Yankee content. So, and this type of stuff, is stuff to get excited about. So you don't have a lot at the major level right now to be excited about. This type of stuff can be exciting to think about, to talk about, and all this other stuff too. So his blocking and receiving skills have tremendously improved. His arm leaves a little bit to be desired. Doesn't have a Gary Sanchez type rocket arm, but Sanchez couldn't catch the ball, he couldn't block the ball, he couldn't do all the other things. This guy can, Ben Rice. So he also hits lefty, which again represents a need for the Yankees. The Yankees need a couple lefty bats. Well, they have some, here moving in the near future, and you never know. This could leave them a little bit room to move on from a Kyle Gashoka or move on from a Jose Trevino or whatever they want to do. So as long as these guys keep progressing through the system, we could see a Ben Rice, Austin Wells, catching first base tandem. We could see a Ben Rice, Ben Rortvedt, double Bens, double Bs, catching tandem. We don't know. We don't know. But this is the first time in a while that the Yankees have had this much catching depth in the system. And he's also having to compete with Josh Bro and Anthony Sigler at the Double A, but he's been taking at bats from them. He's been outperforming them. So, it looks like he could be bumped up to Triple A at some point once Austin Wells likely gets called up to the major leagues this year. So, and I do see him getting a call up Austin Wells. So, never know. Never know. Guys have rocketed through the system before. They don't normally rocket through the Yankee system this quickly, but it's nice to see guys getting an opportunity to do that more often than not now. So that excites me as well. And again, he hits better as he goes up through the system too. So it's another thing to think about. So keep this guy in mind. In case you don't know what he looks like, here he is. That's Ben Rice. He's not Austin Wells. And this is not a knock to any degree on Austin Wells. This is props to Ben Rice. Okay? So keep this man's name in your brain. Keep thinking about it. I will talk about him more as he keeps moving up the system. I'll talk about other prospects as well. So you know what to do if you don't want to miss that. Keep it coming. Yankees are in Detroit now for 4 against the Tigers. See how this goes, gang. I'll talk to you later.